I'm coming home, I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Yeah. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday.
The winner is Steve Hawkins.
Hi, I'm Morgan Hoover, and this is WGCHS On the Air. Coming up on today's program, the Crest Yearbook staff will share fun facts about the month of February. Also ahead, we'll have a preview of what to expect from the upcoming 85th Annual Academy Awards. Plus, we'll have a report on how to become financially stable at a young age. But to begin our broadcast, we'll check out a report that I teamed up with Callie Edwards for on internet safety in regards to the latest MTV hit series, Catfish.
Catfishing is the term that is used when one pretends to be someone they're not by using a social media.
This term has recently become popular because of the MTV series called Catfish that is based on a 2010 documentary of the same name.
The premise of the show is to help victims of this act of trickery reel in the fake identities of those who have been manipulating them. But what about you? Have you ever fallen victim to a catfish?
Maybe you're being followed by one right now and you don't even know it. Okay, we have a confession to make. On February 5th, 2013, we began an experiment to see how many people at Giles County High School would unknowingly follow a catfish on Twitter.
Her name is Sarah Grace Benson. Her Twitter handle is @SarahGBenson. She's 17 years old and lives in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. She's a part of #TeamSingle and #TeamIPhone. And she believes that today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. But in reality, Sarah has no worries at all because Sarah Grace Benson does not exist.
As reporters, we went undercover and created a fake Twitter account as an investigative study for our report. And in only 10 days, Sarah managed to gain a total of 35 followers, 20 of them being GCHS students.
And look at this Twitter account. Does that look familiar to you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look through the followers. Look familiar to any of you guys?
Yes, she followed me.
Does this Twitter look familiar to any of y'all?
Oh my God, yes, she follows me.
That's fake.
And I'm just like, who is this girl
That's
from
fake.
Mount?
She favored one of my tweets. I was
Yeah,
like,
she's
I don't
always
know.
favoriting my tweets. I'm like, I don't know this girl.
Are you looking on the following or the followers?
Followers. Oh.
Yeah, I followed, but I didn't.
You follow
Do I
it.
follow her? Do I really? I do.
I don't know who is it.
I didn't realize I did that.
I've seen her though. I've seen her. You have not seen that girl. She's fake.
I guess I'll need to be a little bit more careful when I start following people now.
So be aware of the dangers of social media and watch out for potential catfishes, for you can never be sure of an identity that's behind a computer screen. Reporting for WGCHS, I'm Morgan Hoover.
And I'm Callie Edwards.
And thanks, Callie, for helping me with that report. And for our next report today, we'll head to the local Bank of Frank Ewing, where Ellen Gardner has our piece on financial stability.
Yes, it's true. We all love money. But as we've been told our entire lives, money doesn't grow on trees. Becoming financially stable requires one to develop a well-balanced financial lifestyle. But is it possible to start developing productive financial habits at a young age? What are some steps that one could take to start becoming financially stable at a young age?
Some steps. The first step you have to do is you have to get a job. If you do not have a job, you don't have any income in order to be financially stable. When you get that job, one of the things I would suggest you do is do what I call the 10% rule. And the 10% rule is anything that I make, I try to keep 10% in a savings account, the other 10% I give to my church, and the other 80% I spend on the necessities, and what's left over after that, I just blow it. You got to have a little fun with your money.
What are some common mistakes young people make regarding money, and how can those mistakes be avoided?
Don't get me wrong, everybody wants the nice and the best of everything, but you need to buy what you can afford to pay for. A car is nice to have. You might not can afford a brand new car, on a high school budget. So you need to be realistic in what you're planning to spend your monies on and make sure you don't overextend yourself.
What is your best advice to young people on becoming financially successful?
Consistency pays off in the long run. You want to put your best foot forward, and being consistent with that will make you be a more successful person. And no matter what it is that you're doing, if it's a financial success you're looking for, or if you're looking for success in leadership, or whatever it is you're looking for success in, if you'll be consistent and do the right things, it'll come your way.
Though it may not seem like something that young people typically spend a lot of time thinking about, becoming financially stable is an extremely important task that will hopefully set you on a path to financial success. Reporting for WGCHS, I'm Ella Garner.
Thanks, Ellen. Now here's our Oscar preview from Whit Laxon.
When it comes to award season, Hollywood's biggest night is Oscar night, and this year's 85th Annual Academy Awards ceremony is set to take place on February 24th.
Hi, I'm Seth MacFarlane, Ask Your Kids, and I'll be hosting the Academy Awards. Ask your parents.
The Oscars honor cinematic excellence and are voted on each year by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. And following the announcement of the nominees of this year's Academy Awards on January 10th, movie critics have been buzzing about which films will be honored by the Academy with one of those prestigious gold Oscar statues.
For Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, the nominees are
Alan Arkin for Argo, Robert De Niro for Silver Linings Playbook, Philip Seymour Hoffman for The Master, Christoph Waltz for Django Unchained, and Tommy Lee Jones for Lincoln. All 5 of these nominees are previous Oscar winners, but so far most critics seem to think that it will either be Tommy Lee Jones or Robert De Niro who adds another Oscar to his resume.
The 2012 nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role are
Amy Adams for The Master, Sally Field for Lincoln, Anne Hathaway for Les Miserables, Helen Hunt for The Sessions, and Jackie Weaver for Silver Linings Playbook. And the clear frontrunner for this category is the Princess of Genovia herself, Anne Hathaway.
For Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role, the nominees are
Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30, Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook, Emmanuel Riva for Amour, Quvenzhané Wallis for Beasts of the Southern Wild, and Naomi Watts for The Impossible. And even though this category features the youngest actress and oldest actress to ever be nominated for an Oscar, it appears critics have it all narrowed down to 2 other actresses in the category.
The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role are
Bradley Cooper for Silver Linings Playbook, Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, Hugh Jackman for Les Miserables, Joaquin Phoenix for The Master, and Denzel Washington for Flight. Out of all of the categories this year, leading actor could quite possibly be the most obvious, and that's because of the performance that Daniel Day-Lewis gives as Abraham Lincoln in Lincoln.
And finally, we are pleased to announce that the films selected as the Best Picture nominees for 2012 are
Amour, Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Django Unchained, Les Miserables, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook, and Zero Dark 30. So, well, based on award season so far this year, some might say that Argo will be the big winner of the night. But, well, based on Oscar history, that may not be the case, for Ben Affleck, the director of Argo, was, as many critics put it, snubbed for a Best Director nomination this year. And, well, because of this, it's possible that Lincoln will be the Best Picture winner because critics are predicting Steven Spielberg to win Best Director for directing Lincoln. I'm Whit Laxon, reporting for WGCHS.
Okay, thanks, Whit. And I say go Argo because I fell asleep during Lincoln. For our final piece for today, the Crest Yearbook staff has an informative rundown of the many holidays and celebrations that take place during this shortest month of the year, February.
Groundhog Day. Every year on February 2nd, it's a popular tradition for the most famous groundhog of all groundhogs, Puxatawny Phil, to come out of his hole in the ground and join a group of guys wearing top hats to predict the weather.
Did you know that groundhogs have the ironic ability to climb trees?
So if you're ever looking for a groundhog and can't find one underground, just try looking up.
Yes, they do! They climb trees!
February is National Children's Dental Health Month, and since Mary Bryant is a child at heart and has baby hands, she is going to demonstrate the proper way to brush your teeth.
First, you need to tilt your brush at a 45-degree angle. You should gently brush the outer surfaces of the upper teeth, followed by the outer surfaces of your lower teeth. Next, you should gently brush the inner surfaces of your upper teeth, followed by the inner surfaces of your lower teeth. Now you should gently brush the chewing surfaces of all your teeth, and for fresh breath, you should gently brush your tongue as well.
President's Day is a federal holiday that's held on the third Monday of every February to honor our nation's presidents. And since there are 44 of them to honor, we want to make sure you know the names of each of them so you won't leave anyone out when you celebrate.
George Washington, John Adams, Thomas.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Black History Month is an annual celebration of accomplishments by African Americans.
And it's time for recognizing the central role Black Americans have played in U.S. history.
However, year after year, we hear the same facts over and over.
Rosa Parks.
She shall not be moved.
Martin Luther King Jr.
He just kept on walking.
George Washington Carver.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Yes, those facts are all very important, but there's even more information that is very interesting that you may not know about Black history.
Did you know the first black billionaire was founder of BET, Robert Johnson? Nat King Cole was the first African American performer to host a variety TV series.
Scientist and mathematician Benjamin Banneker helped design the blueprints for many of the historical sites in Washington, D.C. And did you know that Black History Month is also celebrated in the UK in October?
Girl, we is in America.
Okay, and finally, there's the most popular, but not always loved celebration, Valentine's Day.
The best known legend regarding V-Day is the legend regarding the Roman Emperor Claudius, who canceled all marriages and engagements in Rome after Roman men refused to leave their lovers to join his military armies. The good priest Saint Valentine refused to abide with the emperor's demand and continued to perform the marriages for young lovers in secret. But when Valentine's actions were discovered, he was sentenced to die. While in prison, Valentine fell in love with a young girl who is believed to have been his jailer's daughter. And before his death on the 14th day of February, it is rumored that he wrote her a love letter and signed it, Your Valentine.
Aww. We're the Crest Yearbook staff reporting for WGCHS.
Thanks, guys, and that does conclude today's edition of WGCHS On the Air. So signing off, I'm Morgan Hoover.